What is up YouTube, Joe here from Zephyrwargames. I'm bringing to you guys kind of a random deck update, but it did receive some new support in BT25, and that is Axel. So Axel has always been one of those decks I just always felt like is a really cool concept. I love the idea of just like the entire deck being involved around Chaosmon, a card, and a Digimon that has been like a part of this game since like it's very like pretty much near the beginning of its inception. And so I've always had Axel a bit like a little personal connection to it, as it's just, again, you know, always been there in the game, and when it got like being part of like the best boss monster arguably in the Zephyrwargames, which is a deck that I've always had a strong connection with, as I, you know, big fan of Tamers. I've always had Axel built, and I've always like updated it as the deck goes. If I can get some casual games with it, I always try and get some casual games with it if I can, as long as I remember to bring it with me. I have so many decks. But yeah, with the update, with the new support that I've received being part of the Digimon line, I wanted to add it to the deck and share with you guys a brief profile, so you can get a good understanding of what changes you could be potentially making to your deck to add the new support in, what new support is you want to be more focused on, and what it changes to the deck in terms of like the overall concept and strategy for it. So before I get into it, if you enjoy it, give us a like and subscribe down below. Ding that notification bell, because if you enjoy personal content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on their content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. All of the support has been greatly appreciated, and thank you guys all so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into Axel. So the main egg for Axel hasn't changed. It hasn't actually received another one since, so we're still sticking with the 4 copies of Pinamon. When any of the Digimon with the Axel trait are played, this Digimon may evolve into an Axel trait in the hand for cost reduction of 2. Nice form of extension, or just climbing up your stack. Then we have 4 copies of Falcomon. This is your cost reduction of 1 into an Axel trait with inherent or piercing. And then we have 4 copies of Lionmon. I feel like these are still mandatory at 4. They both serve the main functions that you need for a deck like this. Again, Falco being your cost reduction, and Lionmon being your reveal top 3. Add a Chaosmon name to hand and 1 card in hand or the Axel trait, and 1 option card with the Axel trait. So this is important as it serves as your option card, as well as double hitting with everything else in the deck. But part of the new cards, we're playing 3 copies of the brand new Digimon from BT25. This is a when moving and on play. To reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with Chaosmon in its name or the D Brigade or Axel trait. Mark them to the hand, return the rest to the top or bottom of your deck in any order. It has an all turns plus 1000 DP. The reason I've only gone for 3 copies is as opposed to 4. I needed to have space for other cards within the deck, and I just feel like its searching is just not as good as Lionmon's, in the sense that it's not double hitting as effectively as Lionmon is. And with a deck like this, you want to be double hitting with your searches as much as you possibly can. So that's why I've gone for that kind of thing. If you wanted to have 4 and 4, you just drop Falcomon if you really wanted to. And that might be a change I might make in the future. But yeah, so that's just what we're going for. Moving on to the champions, playing 4 of the new best champion in deck, and that's 4 copies of Steel Digimon from BT25. This is your turn. When any of your D Brigade or Axel trait Digimon are played, this Digimon may evolve into a D Brigade or Axel trait in the hand with a cost reduction of 2 and the same inherent of all turns plus 1000 DP. This card is absolutely fantastic as it combos so well with your Pinamon, allowing you to climb all the way up into 6 for essentially probably only 2 memory if done correctly, just by playing a Digimon, which is very, very strong and definitely something you want to be playing 4 of. And because of that, I just gone 3 each of the other champions, 3 copies of Lionmon and 3 copies of Digimon. Leomon is on play, and when evolving, one of your opponents is minus 3000 DP, inherent barrier. And Digimon is suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and piercing for the inherent. I just gone for 3 copies of each. You could probably drop one of them down if you really wanted to add more space for other cards, but that's just something I'm currently going for. Moving on to the ultimates, 4 of probably the best ultimate now in the deck, and that is Tankdramon. So as when digivolving and when attacking, that once per turn reveal top 3 cards of your deck, you may play a play cost 12 or lower D Brigade or Axel trait from among them with a cost reduction to 5, and then you trash the rest. As an all turns once per turn, when any of your D Brigade or Axel trait Digimon are played, one of your opponent's Digimon can't digivolve until the end of their turn. As an inherent opponent's turn, this Digimon with Chaosmon in its name or the D Brigade or Axel trait gains reboot and blocker. 2 fantastic abilities that be adding to your boss monster, and a very strong effect when you digivolve it. Then we have 3 copies of Loader Leomon. I've gone for this one, and just only 1 copy of Chromon, so I feel like Loader Leomon's main effect is at the moment a lot stronger than Chromon. Loader Leo is on play when digivolving until your opponent's turn ends. One of the Digimon can't activate when digivolving effects and gets minus 3000 DP. The inherent is that when any of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target to this Digimon. And Chromon is just suspending an opponent's Digimon, and then one of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP. Then one of your Digimon may attack, and then it has an inherent of when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4000 DP. I just feel like the overall stunning of when digivolving effects and more redirection in Loader Leomon is just a bit more needed than what Chromon's providing. For the Megas, we're playing 4 copies of Buncho Leomon. 2 of the Megas here share the same effect that when this Digimon we played, if you have a Digimon the Axel trait, reduce the cost by 5. In combination with Tankdramon, you're essentially playing Buncho Leomon for 2 memory, which is absolutely insane. As an on-play when digivolving effect, to digivolve to one of your opponent's Digimon, then one of the Digimon gets minus 5000 DP to the end of their turn. It has an end of your turn. This Digimon and any of your other Digimon may DNA into a Chaosmon name in the hand. Then the DNA Digimon may attack. It has an inherent of your opponent's turn. When one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the attack target to this Digimon. So you could effectively have 3 blocks in the form of 1 Digimon Mega, which is absolutely crazy. And we have 3 copies of Voludemon, same cost reduction to be played. So again, in combination with Tankdramon, you're playing it for 2 memory. On play when digivolving, suspend all of your opponent's Digimon, and one of your Digimon gets plus 3000 DP for the turn. Then one of your Digimon may attack. End of your turn, it may DNA, and then that Digimon may attack. And then when attacking, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4000 DP for the turn. Again, I prioritize Buncho Leomon. I just feel like the inherent is just a lot more useful. I am taking the 1 copy of Darkdramon Ace in combination with Tankdramon. You are actually just playing this for 2 memory, which is fantastic. And then it's also a Ace if you ever need it. It has Scapegoat, and then on play when digivolving, digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then delete all of their Digimon with the lowest play cost. It has an inherent of Collision, which is very, very strong. Could be very nice as well. You don't need to play Darkdramon Ace if you really don't want to. I just come with it just because I just felt like having a nice hard play of a level 7, a level 6 for 7 memory can be very effective in this kind of deck. For the main Chaosmon I've gone for is just Volder. I still feel like this is like the best Chaosmon. Unfortunately, I don't own any of the promos, so if you want to play the promo and you do own the promo, you can definitely take out the tech of Ultimate Chaosmon I'm using, and you just put that promo in. But Volder is just such a strong card. Security attack +1, partition yellow, a yellow level 6 and a green black level 6. Green or black level 6. When digivolving each of this Digimon's level 6 cards, suspend an opponent's Digimon or Tamer and gain a memory. Then none of their Digimon or Tamers can activate on-play effects or unsuspend to the end of their turn. I just feel like this is such a strong card in this current format if you can get into it. Being able to just lock out essentially most of what the TS decks are doing in terms of like the hard play and the Megas in tight situations. Being able to go into this and go, yeah, you don't have that option anymore. Your Tamers aren't being able to unsuspend as well, which means that once you do suspend them, they're essentially not getting that Homeworlds, that Danyuki, all those kind of things. So if you can get into Chaosmon, Volder right now, then you're doing very, very well potentially. And then, as I said before, we're playing 1 copy earlier, 1 copy of the Ultimate Chaosmon. It's just my other tech. I'm using it as a Chaosmon name. It has DNA Digivolve of a yellow black and a green purple. partition, yellow, black, or green, purple. It has a when digivolving effect though, that if DNA digivolving, you may place up to 2 level 6 cards from your trash as this Digimon's bottom evolution cards. Then for each of this Digimon's level 6 Digivolution cards, return one of your opponent's Digimon to the bottom of the deck. This Digimon 4 more level 6s gains security, attack +3, and piercing. An absolute beast of a boss if you can set it up right. For the option cards, we're going to go to options first. I normally do Tamers first, but we're going for 4 copies of Singularity of Chaos. I'm still using this as a 4 of. I don't see any reason to be dropping this down. It has a 2 cost that while you have a Digimon with Chaosmon in its name or the Axel trait, you can ignore color requirements, security, gain a memory, and add it to the hand. As a main, you may play Digimon card with the Axel trait from your hand with the play cost reduced by 4. Then place this card under any of your Digimon's bottom evolution cards. The inherent is at end of opponent's turn if this Digimon has Chaosmon in its name. Trash your opponent's top security, and then this Digimon gets minus 30,000 DP for the turn. The reason is giving, if you're new to the deck, why it's minusing your Digimon's DP is so that you can then trigger partition to spit out your megas, and then you can go into a new Chaosmon to get that new wind Digivolving effects. For the other options, we're playing 3 copies of Amber Memory Boost. The reason why we have moved away from the Chartros Memory Boost, I'm butchering that name completely, is because of the new evolution line of the D Brigade line. Because they are black purple, the other memory boost won't be able to add it, but by having this in the deck, we are adding yellow purple, which essentially means we're adding everything in our deck once again, which is very, very handy. The only thing we're not adding to our hand is Ultimate Chaosmon, as is pure white, but that's perfectly fine. The only other downside to this over the other memory boost is that if you somehow do not have a rookie, you're not able to play this by just hatching the egg, which the other memory boost provides. But it's a perfectly good trade-off to being able to add our new entire evolution line. The last card in the deck, we're just playing 1 copy of TK Takashi from BT1. This is just, a good generic mem setup for this deck. It just adds a card from your security to your hand. And if you add the yellow recover, which again, majority of our deck is yellow, so you're going to get that recover 1. And setting your memory to 3 every time. It's just, beneficial. You don't have to play this. You can take this out. You can put a 4th memory boost in there. You can add another Chaosmon if you want to do as well. This is a perfectly good flex spot, but I just gone with the TK just to have that nice memory setup while also being a pseudo consistency card. But that, Tamers, is the deck profile for Axel Chaosmon. I hope you all enjoyed it. But again, a bit of a random deck profile, but I like these kind of decks. I like a little good of a rogue random deck. These decks are always just really fun to play. So even if you're not taking it seriously in terms of like a full-on competitive aspect, being able to have a deck like this, which is very, very cheap, just, put it all together, have some fun casual games with your mates, and just, have a good blast. Also, if they're ever making a Ultimate Cup, that has like those limitations again, having decks like this at your disposal is always handy, as you'll be able to enter those events and get those nice tasty promos. And a deck like this does very well in those very other rogue formats in terms of like common, uncommon only, as the majority of this deck is just uncommon. Your megas are very, very powerful megas, and just do very well in those kinds of events. But again, as always, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, as always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.